New Year's resolutions are here, and this video is just gonna get, I think at this point, 4 levels of meta. Might as well get started. Hello and welcome everybody. It's become a tradition now on this channel. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep it up because it's gonna be picture in picture in picture in picture in picture eventually, but for now, it's time to watch over last year's New Year's resolutions video, see how I did, and talk about what's going to be coming up in 2021. This was January 2020. We were so young, so innocent. Hey all, Joe here with All Funnies and Games, and off the bat, that old, doofy, I think I did that intro for like 3 years. And I could have just been saying, hi, I'm Joe. But I was trying to build the brand, so it was, hey all, Joe here with All Funnies and Games, and today, today, it's time to set some new resolutions. And my old intro, I've actually been using advice that I can get off of our small YT channel. That was where I got some advice on like, hey, the intro doesn't really work that great. So that was another thing that changed this year. Working with a new intro, and I don't have the weird little like sign on. Opposite of a sign off, whatever you call that. Now, I've got here my New Year's resolutions video from last year. Don't worry, I'm gonna edit this down to a couple of things, as I will this year. I don't want these videos to go, oh, the first one was 10 minutes, the next one was 20, then 30. I'm not dealing with that. You don't want me dealing with that. Got like no Pez dispensers in that. I've reduced the clutter on here. I have a chessboard for a backdrop, one Lost in Space robot, a Fallout bobblehead, and I used to have an Aquaman Pez dispenser up there. Until just recently. The clutter was getting to be a bit much. Okay, I think the first bit of this video is going to be 2020 me reacting to my 2019 resolutions, so let's jump to the second half of the video where it's me talking about what my resolutions were in 2020. Back before I knew what 2020 was going to be. I'm not going to be shooting for 12 books in 12 months because that was a super easy goal for me last year because I do read a lot. If you'd like to go for that goal, I absolutely encourage it. Recording every book I read for probably 2 or 3 years now. Very, very good for you. I'm going to be recording every book I read. I'm just going to keep a tally of everything because I'm curious at the end of 2020 how much I've read this year. I did record every book I read. That was what I did last video, was I talked through all of those books. I did my 10 reviews or 10 word or less reviews. I think I'd like to do that again next year. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how well that one's going to perform yet, but fingers crossed it goes over pretty well, because I thought that was kind of fun. Duolingo. I'm going to try to do it every day. I did lose my streak on Duolingo a couple of times, but I think, all told, it was probably less than 10 days all year that I forgot to do it. Which, if you forget one day but then get back to it the next day, you have what they call a streak freeze that'll let you keep your record going. I didn't always do that, and sometimes I missed 2 days in a row. Just something came up. But overall, I would guess that I probably missed less than 10 days all year long. I'm calling that one a win. Fitness. I am moving away from soda as best as I can. I've got some getting away from soda. That worked for about the first 4 months of the year, and then I got overambitious and tried to do keto. That lasted for about 2 weeks, which was when the stress of dieting and the stress of the quarantine and everything kinda just all collectively, cumulatively got to be too much to keep dealing with. And everything went by the wayside at that point. The good news, with some changes to my schedule and stuff, I have been back off soda for the last 2 weeks and hopefully going to have much, much, much less going into next year. yeah, without giving away too many personal details about my schedule, I don't need as much caffeine as I used to do the things that I do in life. So hopefully get soda back down to a treat as opposed to a daily habit. Exercise, that's going to be in a future video. Stay tuned for that. That's going to get its own series because I don't know what the crunching was in the video at that point. I started that workout series and I didn't finish it. I am back to doing some workouts. I'm probably not going to tie a resolution to it because I don't have tangible goals, right? What I'm trying to do right now is get to where I can reasonably do push-up or pull-ups. Pull-ups have always been hard for me. Regularly do squats, regularly do cardio, and regularly do some additional strength training, right? Because strength training is real easy to focus the upper body. Cardio and squats are going to be real good for focusing the lower body. And being able to do a pull-up, I think, is a good metric of just where my general fitness is. Again, that one I'm not tying a full-blown resolution to because I don't have hard benchmarks to hit. You might have noticed I may or may not, at time of you watching this, be at 300 subs. When I last checked a couple minutes ago, I was at 301. I am up less than 100 subs from last year. That's disappointing. I had hoped to be somewhere close to 500 by the end of this year, but that's one of those things I can't really make a goal of that. That's a hope, a dream, a wish. I can make goals about video upload consistency, video upload quality. All of that comes back on me. Stuff that comes down to other people's behavior and actions, that's not a goal for me. That can be a hope, that can be a wish, can't really be something I have direct, immediate control over. That's everything going on with New Year's resolutions. Duolingo, fitness goals, reading. And actually, those three are the only resolutions. The other thing is, okay, Duolingo, fitness goals, and reading. Duolingo, I'd say I came near enough as to make very little difference. Fitness, not so much. Not so much this last year, but starting to get back on top of it already. Time of recording, it's not the new year yet, but I'm not going to sit around and wait till New Year's to get started on some of this stuff. Right? So fitness is getting back on track going into next year. Reading, that was all the last video. I read 42 books this last year. For this year's resolutions, the channel content probably won't change drastically. I'm more going to be doubling down on a specific type of content I've been doing, which is where tabletop role-playing games and art kind of meet at a cross-section, right? So look for more of the Deck of NPCs project videos. Look for more videos about tabletop role-playing games as I draw the pictures. And some of that's also going to come down to a couple of the projects outside the channel that I'll be talking about at the end of this list. Number 2. I would like to do at least 3 cumulative months of keto. If that ends up being a month and a half here and a month and a half a little bit later, so be it. I think that's a reasonable goal. I think that's a goal that I can hit in 1 year. We'll see. I have a Python course from Udemy that I'd like to finish, and I'd like to get my Security Plus certification by the end of the year. Sec Plus, from talking to some people who know this stuff, I'm probably going to start with Linux Plus, then go to Net Plus, then go to Sec Plus to kind of scaffold the knowledge. But I think if I have Python and Security Plus behind me, that opens up a lot as far as what I can do for money. And what I can do with computers, and what I can do with other projects besides just doing this channel as my social media presence. Python in particular, I think is going to open up being able to look at maybe some indie gaming things. Probably nothing huge and crazy impressive right now, but we'll see what I can figure out with that. Talking about projects outside the channel, I don't want to go in too much detail. I don't really want to give it away, but I'd like to finish the Deck of NPCs next year. I'd like to complete what I'm calling the B.O.R. supplement. There'll probably be some content related to that on the channel, and I will give updates as that project comes closer and closer to completion. But for now, working title, if you want to tweet at me about it, ask me how things are going on it. B.O.R. supplement. Same deal with something I'm calling the Augie Project. Going to take a lot of cues from text-based adventure gaming. The goal is a video game. I'd like to have something out before the end of the year. We'll see. That one's very ambitious for where my skill set is right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. The Augie Project is... It's going to be a lot to put on myself. But between all of this, I think I've got a pretty decent set of resolutions. Bring the channel more into the cross-section of Dungeons & Dragons and art content, do some healthy dieting, get some more certifications on computer-based stuff, and then work on 2 projects, which for now we'll just keep calling the B.O.R. Supplement and the Augie Project. So with all of that said and done, thank you for watching. Happy New Year. I hope your 2021 is better than your 2020 was. And I hope your 2020 was as good as it could have been, all things considered. Sorry, there's not more to say on that. It's been a rough one. But we got a new year, fresh start. Let's see what we can do with it. Thank you for watching. Please share the video with a friend or several friends, and let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me draw in a future video. Later, y'all!